Hi guys, in the previous video we saw how we can write web jobs, and we saw how by using the web jobs SDK we can write triggers and bindings. As I mentioned before in the last video, triggers and bindings are used to integrate your web jobs with Azure and non-Azure services. Today we're going to take it a step further, and we're going to talk about Azure Functions. We're going to talk about how we can write triggers and binding within Azure Functions to integrate it with Azure Services. We will see how we can write Azure Functions in Visual Studio and use the local storage emulator instead of connecting it with your actual Azure account. We will also have a look at how we can write APIs using Azure Functions. In terms of triggers, we will see queue-based trigger, HTTP-based trigger, and timer-based triggers. And we will also have a look at the bindings, queue binding, blob binding, and Azure Storage Table binding. The things that we're going to develop today to show you how these things can be used. We will write a REST API, which will actually post a comment. Comment is nothing. It'll be just a string of the comment and a string of the comment by. And it will be a post API. And then we will write a get API, which will return all the comments that are created by us. As you can see, the green arrows are basically triggers and the blue arrows are bindings. So when we call the REST API, post API, it will actually create a comment down into the Azure storage table. And we will show you when things go to the storage table. In parallel, in the same API, we will also post a message into the Azure storage queue. After this has gone to the Azure storage queue, we'll write another function, which you can see the queue function I've written here, which will be triggered by the message being in the queue. And then it will create a file named as the comment by field. And within that file, it will post the comment. So this actually gives you an idea of how you write APIs and how you integrate your functions with different services. So let's start. I'm going back to the Visual Studio. So let's find functions. You can see I've already created one function, so it's there in my recent project templates. I'm going to select this and I'm going to call it demo, function app demo, and create it. So now you can see it's asking me what kind of trigger I want. So let's go with the HTTP trigger because we're going to write an API first. So what storage account I'm going to use? I'm going to use storage emulator, which is my local storage emulator. So I don't need to have a Azure account to write functions. So authorization level, I'm going to write anonymous at the moment and create. So it will go ahead and create my function. While it does, I am going to take the code snippets that I've already written so that we don't have to waste a lot of time here. So if you go down here in the dependencies, you can see the Microsoft.NET Core App SDK is being used, and the package that's being used is the SDK.functions. Because we're going to access the Azure table and queues, so I'm going to add another NuGet package here, which we also used in the, if you remember, we used in the WebJob SDK as well. I'm going to go here. I'm going to say browse. I'm going to browse Azure Web Jobs storage. So it will find these for me. So Microsoft Azure Web Jobs extension storage, that's the one I'm going to install. I'm going to install the latest version. Latest table is 3.0.10. Let's install it. Let's accept all the dependencies. All right, so it's done. So you can see it has brought in a lot of dependencies with it. All right, so this is the function. Because we're going to write the first post API for the comment, so I'm just going to do write create comment. This is just a function name for your troubleshooting purposes. This one can be anything. Just to make it consistent, I'm going to say create comment. And because it's a post API, I'm going to remove get from here so that it's just a post API. Route, I will just give it comment so that this is the route from with which we can access the API. So I will show you how you can do it. So it has an HTTP trigger by default, because if you remember when we created the project, we selected the HTTP trigger. That's why it's there. I'm going to remove all of this code because we don't need it here. I'm going to remove this. So now we said, if you go back to the diagram, I showed you that the post comment is going to integrate with the Azure Storage Table and the Azure Storage Queue. So I'm going to create two bindings here. I'm going to say the first one is going to be table, and the table name is going to be comments table. And the connection, I can give it, by default, it will take the connection, but just to make sure, go to the local settings, and this is the storage. You can see they use local development storage equal to true. So it's going to use the storage emulator. Let's get back here, put it here. So this is our connection. Connection. And this is going to be an async collector. All right, so we need to create comments entity comments table. We will create this class. Let's do the second one. I'm just going to copy the code that I've already written so that you don't have to watch me typing. So you can see the queue is also pretty much the same. Let's call it queue. So queue, and the it's the name of the queue is comments queue, and the connection is same, and the same entity I'm going to use here. So I will just go here and create another class. A new class, call it entity. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to table entry, because in order to put it into the table, we need the row key and partition key. Remember, we saw in the web jobs. So I'm just going to do that. And this essentially is the Windows Azure storage table. So let's do public string. I will just essentially copy it. So this whole class I'm going to copy here. This is my class. You can see comment and comment by. Let's go back. Now, comment entity. Comment entity. Yeah, so it's fine. Now that we have it, we are going to first the log. I'll keep it like that. Okay, so now we're going to retrieve the body, and the body we're going to deserialize into the comments entity, because that's where we're going to save it. And now we'll have our entity over here in the data variable. So first we'll check that it has passed it properly. Data is null. Then we're just going to throw the exception. We're going to say just throw this exception, return this error status code. So return, we can say valid body. Or in case of success, I'm just removing this code. I'm just going to say return new object and say successful. Okay, so now we need to add this into the table and the queue. So I'm going to say comments table dot add async, and I'm going to add the data here. So this will go ahead and add the data into the query, and I'm going to say wait and comments queue dot add async data here as well. Wait. All right. So by this, we should be able to create the comment and go ahead in the Storage Explorer and see it. Let's run it and let's see what happens. Okay, so this is the Azure function runtime that's running, and it is basically showing us the functions that it got and everything related to that. So you can see it created one function, and that is HTTP function, and the name of the function is create comment, and this is the URL. Okay, so I'm going to open it up in the Postman, and in the body, actually it's JSON. So comment, first comment, and comment by Tahir. Why is the color different? Okay, let's send it. Let's see what happens. All right. There is some problem there. All right. Probably we did some mistake. Comment is first comment and comment. Oh, that's why I was saying the color is different. All right. Okay, let's try it now. Go back to the function. What happened there? Okay. All right, so we missed one thing. We actually didn't put the partition key and row key. So let's do that. So comments table, basically data dot partition key. We will just say it's comments data dot row key. We will just create a new grid. And to string, change the format. Okay, that's it. So stop it and run it again. Should be fine now. Okay, no errors. Go back here. The URL is same. I'm going to post it now. So it's successful. And you can see over here it's successful as well. Now let's open the Storage Explorer to see what's happening there. Okay. Storage accounts. This is my emulator. And go to tables. Okay, comments table. You can see the table is created now. And under here, you can see the my comment, first comment and commented by Tahir is here. If I go to the queue, we should have comments queue here as well. And it has one entry in it. Okay, so you can see everything is here. By the way, it just stored the row key and partition key as well, which essentially we don't need when we send the message to queue, but we can create another entity class and then convert our entity, the table entity, into this entity and store it here, but you know how to do that. Okay, so that's in the queue now. Now let's write the get API as well and see how we can get all the comments. So I'm going to copy the same function. Actually, I have already written the get method and I'll copy that method and then we'll go through what actually we've done in that. So over here, this is another function that we've written and its name is get comments. Stop it. Get back here. So essentially everything is the same. You can see the HTTP trigger, we have passed get instead of post, and the root is also the same. And what we've done here is because we're just going to retrieve it from the table. So we have a binding of tables. So this is basically table. I think that's the name. Yes. Table connection is same. And let's bring this one here. So a storage table. So we have this cloud table over here. And what we're doing here is basically we're writing a query, table query, and passing the comment entity here. And then we're executing the query. So basically we're not providing any filters or anything. We're bringing everything. And then we're returning the whole object that we received. All right, so to get that, let's go here. Let's run it. I will just open the browser in the meanwhile and go here while it's running. Let's see how is it going. So still going. Okay, now you can see it is bringing create comment and get comments, and the URL is essentially the same because the root was same. So let's see what happens. Okay, you can see this is our first comment that was there. Let's go ahead and create another comment. Let's call it second comment. Oh, do that, and we can come here and you can see two comments here. Now, having done that, the last thing that we're going to do now, if we go back to this slide over here, this is being done, but we said that we'll write another function that takes things from the queue as a trigger and then stores that onto the storage blob. So let's write another function. Now we have two ways to do that. Either we can write a function over here and mark the trigger as the queue, or we can write that in a separate file. In both the cases, that's fine. And I will show you when actually we publish it, how the publish process actually splits all the function into separate functions or JSON files. But let's create another one. So new add, it gives you the option of new Azure Functions. Let's do that. And function, let's call it queue. Now you can see some of the options already here, but if not here, then you can have custom triggers as well. So queue trigger, and the connection string is, we'll add it later on. So queue name, let's do the comments queue. Let's get back there and actually copy the connection name over here. All right. Okay. So, sorry, that's the connection name. Okay. So this is a simple queue-based triggered function. You can see the queue trigger is here. We can call it. Well, don't need to. It's fine. So that's there. I'm going to copy some of the codes that I've already written to show you to save the time here. And let's do it. Here. Okay, so it's very much similar to the one that we did before in the web jobs. So what we're doing here is, let me just import some of the classes there. Okay, should be fine now. This is our comment entity. Yes. So what is it doing? The stop it. Your queue name is comments queue. Connection is this, and because it's a trigger, so we are actually bringing the queue entity. So if we have multiple entries in the queue, it will go one by one and then populate the queue entity over there. And then as a binding, we have, let's call it comments blob and comment by. So as I told you in the web jobs as well, this is actually the field that comes in as your trigger. So in your trigger class, we have comment by, and that will be the name used to create the blob. So we have to keep it lowercase. File access is right, everything else is same, text writer. And when we go down here, what we're going to do here is output writer, which is your blob, and then we're going to write comment and then comment by some whatever they pass. Okay, so if we run it now because we already have in the storage queue over here, if I go here, we should have two entities here. So these two entries actually will automatically trigger because they are already there. So let's run it and see what happens. Okay, all successful. You can see it retrieved one item and two items. So actually it retrieved two items. Let's see what happens. Let's go to the blob here. This is our blob, and we should have, this is our comments blob. We should have two files here, right? One with Tahir and the other one with Rauf. And let's see what's inside it. I'm just opening this file up. And you can see second comment, and the over here is the first comment. Let's just add another thing here and see how that goes. David, and this is our third comment, and send it. Okay, now you can see it's sending. So basically it retrieve, as soon as it sent it to the queue, it retrieved from the queue and created a blob as well. Going back to the storage account, before that, let's actually see if this was created. So we should have three comments here now. You can see the third comments by David is here. Let's go back to the storage explorer and go to the blobs here. You can see the David blob is also here. Come on. Okay, you can see it here. Now, one last thing that I want to show you. I showed you that this function one.cs has two functions and function q has one function. But let's see what happens when we publish it. So I'm going to publish it, and I'm going to publish it into a folder. All right. So this is .NET Core App 2.1/publish. Publish it. I have to stop it. Yes, do it. Let's go for Macordis. Okay. So it has published it now over here. So you can see it actually created three function JSONs here. Create comment, function queues, and get comments. Although there were only two files. So if you go down here, there's function.js here. Let's see the function queues JSON here. What's inside that? So let's open it in the Notepad++. Okay, so you can see the .NET SDK versions. What is the triggers, and what's the name of the queue and everything, and what's the DLL where the it's going to be, and what's the entry point. So this is essential for running the functions in your Azure portal. So that's it. That's about it. Please comment on the videos and let me know if you have any question. Thank you.